think we have everyone because counting to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is kind of hard. So it took me a second.
Mason did the counting. Proud of you, Mason.
As a DM, counting's hard. Sometimes you just take the encounter meter and you just go whoop. Nathan, are you muted, bud?
No.
Oh, okay. I saw your mouth moving and you weren't talking, so.
One moment. Hello? Oh, is that your magic shit? Thank you. I thought you may want it. Baby girl, thank you. Bye.
Good job, Gregory.
Laughing at my fucking middle name, I will kill you.
Your middle name is Gregory. My dad's name is Gregory.
My uncle's name.
Oh my god.
I truly would invite you to try, Nathan. That would bring me much joy. All right.
What?
Yes.
Brian, fuck you?
Correct. What?
Mm-hmm. Does anybody else have anything else they want to say?
I'm in your walls, I'm in your walls, I'm in your walls, I'm in your walls.
Okay.
Thank you.
Quite good. All right. Well, with that, welcome everyone to session 2 of Tooth and Claw. Last session, a quick recap. The various party members found their way to Moon Harbor, to the Aussie Guild. You fought in the Proving Grounds. Artie, a noble lord who's kind of young and bookish, was there. He asked you not to kill his men. You tried your best to not kill his men.
We didn't kill them all.
We just did.
It's true. Not all of them died.
Well, 2 of them got beheaded because they ran away. So
that was not us.
You know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Anyway, so we successfully maybe didn't kill all of Artie's men. You made your way into the Moon Harbor Guild. It's a very Spartan 2-story building. There's a couple of rooms upstairs. The downstairs, a traditional kind of adventuring bar. There's an outdoor courtyard area that's fairly dilapidated. All in all, a pretty stark building with not much to offer. Artie, as kind of opening present / welcome present, presented the guild with a bottle of Heroes Feast wine, and that is where we find ourselves. Last session we were discussing what the party wanted to do. There was a number of different quests. Yeah, we pick off back there, where I believe the discussion was pirates, werewolves, or what else would you guys like to talk about?
Grand theft was also one of them.
Grand theft was also one of them, yes.
Grand theft. Ooh.
Chelsea, you're muted.
Yeah, I forgot. Faye was also one of them.
I want to fuck
something
with
to do
Faye.
with Faye. Yeah, I mean that's fair.
My problem with the Fae is that
everything.
The Fae are tricky bastards, and Mason's really good at playing tricky bastards. So, yeah.
Just remember, if they offer you food, don't eat it.
True.
The bad idea.
Oh, there was something about finding a lost artifact or some shit, right?
Yep.
True.
I'd like that.
I'm like, I'd say let's start with maybe one that's smaller and less of a time commitment.
But pirates.
Pirates.
Doesn't mean we can't do pirates after.
But what if they leave?
We lost our chance like that once before.
But I do agree. I feel like pirates will take up like a large chunk, and I would rather have not a test run.
Yeah, just
you could always make contact with the quest giver.
Is there do we know that person? Like, is there a name for it?
There is a name for it.
Oh, good.
We had an offer of werewolves, correct?
Yeah, killing a werewolf. Oh, there's a haunted mansion. There's a haunted mansion.
Those are good ones.
There's a haunted mansion.
I am.
You would push for that one.
We're just listing my specialties. So
The Haunted Mansion could be cool too, but I feel like shooting ghosts is difficult.
Yeah.
No.
I'm
So
down for werewolf.
what the haunted mansion is? We all just get together and we have to play a game of betrayal.
Yes,
That's the haunted
Mhm.
mansion.
that's the mansion.
He's just gonna make every object in the house like animated. You know.
Oh wait, no. I mean, if we go into ghosts, my gun's magical, so we're fine.
Mm.
It's counts as a magic weapon, so I'm good no matter what. I think either the artifact, or the werewolf, or the mansion. Those are my three. Those are my 3 votes. And
To be
Steel
honest, I have
Defenders votes.
ADHD and I did not hear your votes.
Werewolf, Haunted Mansion, or the artifact.
I was thinking
What did we
Haunted
vote?
Mansion or Artifact.
Everybody, give me a perception check, please.
Steel Defender too.
Including,
Fuck! I don't even
am I
have my.
excluded from this?
I mean, you sure can give me a perception check, Mika.
Correct.
Oh.
Does Steel Defender also roll perception check?
He does not.
This is my voting system. And you said perception?
Yep.
Hang on, I'm pulling up. Because like right now I have my like Discord, like the videos full screen to record, and so I can't pull up chat. So then I pull it up in a browser on my other screen. So give me a second.
Well,
here.
just pop out, and then there you go for Discord.
Well, I already have a solution, so it's fine.
It's not a great
Also-
solution, but okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
did
I
also
already
get
have
voted
my browser open with other things,
I
so I just
suppose.
open
I
other
suppose.
tabs.
I suppose.
Also,
there's
thumbs up whatever option you want in the general chat.
there's no vampires, Nathan. That's not a thing.
Oh. I swore, okay.
Vampires are artifacts. Let's just do that. The vampire. Okay, it's gone now. Never mind.
Alrighty. So, as most of the party is discussing where to go and what to do, most of you don't really notice that the necklace that is around Artie's neck starts to glow. Cal, you do notice it, as it kind of gives off just a little pulsing light that seems to quicken and just boom, boom, boom.
Can I do an
boom,
Arcana
boom,
check?
boom, 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 boom,
I
boom.
can
Yeah,
can I
absolutely.
can I do a? Oh wait, I don't notice it. Never mind.
That is going to be a 13 Arcana check.
13 Arcana check. Okay. With the 13 Arcana check, yeah, that's magic. Most likely it's about to activate in some way. You're guessing evocation or transmutation of some kind, maybe, but hard to tell.
I'm just gonna look at Artie. Artie, I don't like that. That doesn't look very good.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. Actually, here, just and he'll actually take the locket off and throw it. Mika, you have a couple choices here. As you are being ripped from from the other dimension, where you call home, you hear a couple of voices on the other end talking about what they want to do and stuff like that. Roll me a quick insight check. DC is not high.
A 7.
7. Okay. With a 7, unfortunately, you can't remember if Artie has friends or not. So the voices might be something, might not. Still kind of on the odd side, but you do hear the voices. As the kind of light, Cal, you watch the pendant flies, light starts to intensify, boom, 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 a beautiful blue azure light. Mika, would you like to describe your character for me, please?
Yeah. So you see this like 3-foot girl. She's super pale, has pink hair, these gray eyes that when you look into them just hold this really dark, heavy sadness. You can tell just by looking at her. She kind of gives off this intimidating aura to her. Physically kind of slouched over, very closed off in her body language. She's holding a crossbow already. She's very on edge, ready to basically take on whatever she needs to. She's unsure of what's going on around her, so immediately on guard. And I'll just
Uh,
kind of, oh, what?
Oh no, you're good.
I'll just kind of look at everyone and lock eyes with the biggest one.
Hey,
My bow will be aimed. I will not shoot. And just kind of ask, "Who the hell are you?" What?
are you gonna stand up, both hands up, and be like, whoa, 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 whoa? Bear with me. It's all good. All right. Can we put
All
here,
right.
put the bow down? I
She
thought
she
I thought we had worked on this. We don't draw weapons when we teleport. It's me summoning you. You know. Talk
So
about
who's the closest person to me? Like out of all, who's standing next to Calgus? Who wants to be standing next to Calgus? That's the question.
I mean, I think
Artie's-
it was probably me. I think because
Okay.
I went over to the board with you.
Mhm.
Start to lean in. Is this a normal thing that happens? Do we do this often?
Anybody
I
who
mean,
lives above ground, no, not particularly.
Do people just
like,
appear?
no, but also, like, it's not unheard of, right? Like, I wouldn't be like totally weirded out by it, right? Like, it's just like, not that it's common, but it's like,
Without knowing the type of magic, what just happened, this is a very magical city.
mhm.
But yeah, no, it was rather dramatic.
Okay.
So, is it the craziest thing to happen in Manos? Probably not. Is it weird? Yeah.
Okay.
I
As the standoff kind of continues, Artie's like, oh, and he pulls out 3 blood red vials, and he'll just put them on the bar and just be like, your potions, right? Like I promised.
I will just snatch them and put them into my pocket and nod at him.
I would like
All
to
right.
make an Arcana check.
Same.
I
Yeah,
was,
sure. Arcana check, very
Okay.
low DC.
I have a feeling I know what they are.
16.
I also rolled a 16.
13.
you gotta be fucking 9.
Let's go.
All right. Nathan, they could be a lot of things. You really only get the briefest look at them, just kind of how you're angled at the bar. Is just kind of a flash and some quick movement. Everybody else, those look like healing potions. Admittedly, it looks like smaller dosages than a normal person would take, but this girl is also 3 feet tall. Like, you know.
I'm not the shortest.
But yeah, no, just look like healing potions. Artie will just kind of nod. He'll be like, my specialty. I am an alchemist.
That would have been.
That's good to know.
That's good information.
Mhm.
Well,
My
Okay.
stores are admittedly a little depleted at the moment. But I think, yeah. Anyway,
Excuse me, Artie. I'm a little
Yeah.
bit confused of why we have this little girl here.
well,
I'm just kind of confused on why someone just pops out of a necklace. I don't really. I don't get
Well-
it.
I was getting to that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Artie will kind of look at your character Mika and be like, I don't necessarily know how much I'm able to share freely. Obviously, she is not from around here. Anybody from the overworld, fairies, not super common. Fairies in this world, their mythos is very similar to other worlds where they're mischievous, they can be tricksters, they can help you. It just really kind of depends. But they're not super common, but also not necessarily unheard of. But
That being
Artie,
said, can I make an insight check on
Yeah,
On
on what
her?
Artie's saying, absolutely.
No.
On her,
On her.
what are you trying to glean here?
Well, because I know they are tricksters, right?
Mhm.
I'm trying to glean what her intentions are. Is she just solely on the defensive?
Mhm.
Or like trying to gauge where she stands, you know?
Like, who's in charge of who?
Does that make sense?
Okay, give me an insight check. The lower
Going for
DC,
vibes.
it's gonna be a pretty big it's gonna be a high insight check. The lower insight check is gleaning something from what Artie is saying. A
Okay.
higher one, and I'll let Mika make some decisions here.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, that's a 22, so.
That's some spice right
So
there.
me.
Yep. So
And you
are
can just
purely on
type
the-
me a message if you want.
Yeah,
I'm the only
totally.
one like trying to get this information.
If you're purely on the defensive, it's not like she's gleaning your life story, but like
Mm-mm.
in this moment, are
Just
you?
vibes.
Yeah,
Just
in
vibes.
this moment, are you tricky? Are you defensive? Are you aggressive? Like, where does your character slot?
She is solely on the defensive. She's just a super cautious person.
Okay.
Additionally, with the 22 being pretty good,
Okay.
just from Artie's mannerisms, Artie doesn't seem like he's good at lying. In fact, it seems like Artie's not very good at many things.
Oh,
So
poor
deception
Artie.
deception does not seem to be his strong suit. And he's not lying. He is, just trying not to overshare somebody's story if he doesn't have permission to.
Fair.
I just
What?
need to
Mhm.
point out that both campaigns now Mason's been like, here's an NPC. They're your problem now.
Oh my
I do-
god!
I do-
Mayo.
Is this
I
gonna
do-
be? Oh no! I'm having
Forgot about
flashbacks.
Madame Mayo.
Madame
Holy
Mayo.
shit.
Oh, Madame Mayo.
And he's even giving us alcohol, you guys.
That man went through hell. Didn't he die twice or something?
One time for
God.
sure.
Oh my god.
Only to be resurrected by a vampire lord to be killed again.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
What a dude.
Yeah, no. I liked Madame Mayo. Anyway,
Such a good character.
for poor Mika, Madame Mayo was the initial quest giver in my last campaign.
And he stayed with us the whole time.
And he became our child.
Yeah. He was
Well, did
also
his-
a very pretty blonde elf.
Didn't
He
his
also,
family die or
like,
some shit.
He
and that's why we had to keep
protected
him?
me. Oh yeah, like people forgot him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone forgot him. That was
That's
right.
what- yeah.
Yep.
And he gave me a
Um,
ring that protected me from my vampire dad.
Oh, because
So-
he was Resavir was his half brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was the bastard child, yep.
It's
Sorry, I didn't mean that to be as big of a.
No, it's
I was just like, wait a second.
it's totally okay. There are many parallels, but where Madame Mayo seemed very confident and professional, Artie has none of that going on for him. Additionally, Artie doesn't have like that Madame Mayo charm of being like beautiful. Like truly, he kind of has like that
Artie's
plume of,
ugly.
like multicolor like mohawk feathers,
ugly
kind of
dude.
like
That's so
pulled up into a
cute.
style of the Storians. And he neither has an ugly face or an overly attractive face. He's like if Porridge was a person and that person was trying to be a noble.
Hang on.
That
They
is-
were a
that is-
spicy flower.
That is one of the like most
unique-
painful burns. Like just like if Porridge was a person.
Also, if anybody wants to give me a history check, Mika, you're included in this, and you can take a +5 to this.
For what?
Sure.
Just for some information on the Aussies.
Ooh, that'd be a good old 23.
That'd be a good old natural 20.
Okay.
Holy shit. Okay, history you said, right?
Yep.
Oh,
They don't count as Fae, Fiend, or Undead?
technically there's fiend history in the Aussie line, so I'll give it to you.
Swag. Fuck.
I've either been
Well-
rolling really well or real shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So Chelsea and then Nathan, you guys know that the Aussies are one of the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hard to count sometimes. The 7 great houses that make up the 7 great families of Kenor. While the Aussies aren't necessarily of crazy renown, they're known for being very cold and calculating. It's a very strong family, but it's not a very large family. Anybody who rolled above that, oh, Nathan, specifically thinking of fiends, there is a vicious rumor that Lord Veli Aussie's father, Sagittarius Aussie, contracted with a devil 100 years ago to give the family prominence. And this stems from some historical things, because while the kingdom has been at peace for about 300 years, the Saurians, there's constant infighting. And so the Aussies, there actually used to be 8 noble houses. The Aussies killed House Pterodon, and how it works up here is very similar to the kind of some Drow vibes in Menzo Berenson,
Yeah.
where if you are going to eliminate a house, you fucking kill everybody associated with it,
Yep.
salt the earth, and everyone kind of looks the other way. So that includes the patron, the matron, the children, bastards, slaves, soldiers. You raise it to the fucking ground. And the Aussies were the last house to do that. And in doing so, eliminated the 8th major house, which there has been such malevolence from the Aussies that none of the minor houses have stepped up to claim the 8th spot.
hmm
So while
Okay.
the Aussies are the 7th house, they are still very powerful despite being very small.
Gotcha.
For the bigger roles, because holy fuck, nat 20, of course.
It's always on shit like this. That's what I
Yeah.
want like the 20s.
There's nothing wrong with this.
No, nothing wrong with that. No.
So once again, Aussies are a pretty powerful house, not very large. Their stronghold is to the north of Menos. Kyle, you would probably realize that the rumor about the devils is there's probably some truth and there's probably some untruth to it. There's probably some great work of magic or some great deal struck, but oftentimes when people can't like reason something logically, they go for like a big like this must have happened, when the answer might be more simple. But it could also be more fantastic, and it's hard to tell in these instances. However, if the family had actually contracted with the devil, typically for such a contract, there's a massive negative side that usually impacts the generations following. The Aussies haven't collapsed, so most likely it wasn't a devil, because that kind of this for that quid pro quo really would have devastated the house. But getting into young Artie's situation, Artie Aussie is not somebody of political renown. Veli Aussie is the patron of the fucking entire house. It seems like Artie has been pigeonholed into this role as a guild leader, which would make sense. He's a lesser Aussie noble, but to have Veli show up at the proving grounds, even in the capacity of being, essentially reminding you all that you are disposable, is incredibly fucking weird. Also, with the military presence of the guards in the city, with the Quetzal fortresses flying around, and Lord Veliossi not being in his stronghold to the north, something really fucking weird is happening. Like, there's no reason Veliossi should be in the city right now.
Okay, if I can get like a quick double check of like the lore. So
Mhm.
this is Artie Aussie, and
Mhm.
he is of the family of the Aussies, which is the seventh house of the seven noble houses, and his father is Lord Vel Aussie.
No. So
What is it?
Lord Veli is the patron of the house. You don't know who Artie's dad is. You could ask.
Okay, I'm just trying to like clarify some notes.
Mason.
Sure.
It doesn't have he's just part of the family. It doesn't mean that he's like
Yeah.
the son of like the top dog of the family.
But okay, so Lord isn't
He
like the
could
top
be-
title.
No, so like Lord is like, so if you're the Lord of the house, you are the Lord of the house. But your sons, your nephews, your daughters, technically nieces, anyone of blood relation is going to be a Lord of the Aussie house.
Okay.
They're just lesser lords and ladies. So
Can you put in
Artie,
chat how you spell Aussie?
yep.
Okay.
Fantasy spelling.
Oh, what the fuck?
I love it. I'm here for it. I love how we were spelling it Aussie, like as in Australian.
Yeah.
It was fun.
But no, just
No.
OSE.
Oh, here you can just do a if you do a Control F, you can
That's a
find
C.
and then
Yeah,
do a
oops.
replace
Oops.
all
Fine.
with.
Dyslexia.
I make things hard, Chelsea.
Making excuses,
No, you
Brandon.
don't.
Baby.
But yeah, no, Nathan, you can totally ask about Artie's lineage if you wanted to.
First, I want to understand what the fuck is going on. So,
Mhm.
Aussie is this little girl right here coming to join us?
Correct. She's contracted into my service, and I think she'd be quite an asset.
What's her name, little girl?
Don't like that.
My name is Iris.
Iris. Why the fuck
does-
are you bringing a kid with us? And I'm gonna look right at Artie saying that.
Does she have the mark?
Oh,
Give me a perception check.
But why the fuck do we have a little girl coming with us, Artie?
as
14.
he's saying that, I'm going to look at him and say, because he said like a kid, I'm going to look
Yeah.
him right in the eye and say, I'm not a kid. And
What?
I'm just going to leave it at
How old
that.
are you?
Her skill set is quite useful.
I'll look
Additionally,
at him and
people have a tendency to underestimate those of a smaller stature that I found useful to exploit.
I can second that.
Hey, Kelgus, you don't look like a kid. You're just small.
Yes. Thank you. Also got
Also
a
to
14
an-
on that perception check.
to answer Nathan's question, Iris is 27.
My name's Bud.
Bud,
Bud.
I will reluctantly shake his hand.
I'm gonna grip it real tight.
I will pull away.
Shut the fuck up,
And
you
give him a
guys.
dirty look.
Is it just Bud, Nathan?
What?
Just Bud?
Bud, B-U-D.
That's
Yeah.
Wait, so
Okay. Because we
This
have
is
to
the
add
first
your
time
name
you
to the
guys were-
character.
oh,
Because we never actually introduced ourselves. We just went and killed shit.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's right.
Except for me, I was talking about.
Yeah, Caligus, yeah.
Back to the perception check. I got 14 to see if she has the mark.
14. It does not appear as though she has the mark of conscription.
Interesting. Is she his patron?
Strictly speaking, it seems at this moment that Artie is her patron, but in the most literal sense of
Yes.
being a wealthy benefactor.
Gotcha.
With the 14 Calgus, you do notice that the locket is back in Artie's hand, which is weird because Iris is standing where the locket used to be. Artie will hold up the locket and suddenly it changes into a coin, just a regular golden coin stamped with the head of the Empress. And he'll be like, "This locket is glamored. It's an anchor point for Miss Iris here. Iris," and he'll flick the coin to you. "Give that to whomever or whomever not you choose. You contract with me, but you're free to make your own choices in that regard."
Can I kind of get a scope of who looks the most trustworthy?
It's
Actually, I'll
Calgus.
keep it
This
to
is a
I'll keep it
D&D
to myself for
campaign.
now until I get to know all of these fuckers.
Sure. You will have to give it out in short order if you do decide to bop back. But yeah, you can definitely hang on to it for now and feel out the party a little bit.
It's Calgus. He's the most trustworthy.
Um,
I mean, honestly, probably.
Artie will clap his hands and he'll be like, "Excellent. There are some other things I'd like to talk to you about. Some happenings in the world that are of particular interest, I believe, to you. But first things first," and he'll roll out a scroll of parchment, dip some ink, and you see it is a guild charter. It's not very long. There's nothing terribly fancy on it. And he will write at the top where it says patron, he'll sign his name. And you see a very long, like, he introduced himself as Artie, but his name is quite fucking long as he signs the top of this paper. And he'll put the quill back in the ink and he'll be like, "Any of you who wish to sign it will officially be part of this guild. You'll be able to contract, take jobs. You'll also bear some of the responsibilities for the guild hall and stuff like that. But it's more of a way of ownership as opposed to a tax, if that makes any sense. There'll be a common fund you can pay into. I can upgrade. You can make upgrades yourselves. You'll each be assigned your own room, stuff like that. Do you have any questions?"
Calgus is already like the quill is already in his hands. Like he's ready, and so Calgus will start writing like the first like letter in Draconic, and then scribble it out really really hard, and then write it in Common. And it looks like chicken scratch. It literally looks like just harsh writing.
Brandon, did you say your whole name to all of us already? You did, correct? Like our
Calgus.
characters.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go.
Mhm.
Calgus. We need to read this damn thing first.
It says patron and then his name, and it says guild. So
It is a guild charter. There's some more stuff on it than that. But it's not too terribly long. It's essentially laying out that Artie will take no profit from any of the quests. All the funds will be poured into the guild for general upgrades and improvements.
I would,
at any
however
time,
long.
you're free to terminate your service with the guild at no cost to you. Truly, Bud, give me an intelligence roll if you want to.
I was gonna say, however long it would take, I would make sure to read the whole thing.
Sure. Okay. You read the contract, no roll necessary since you're not skimming it. Oddly enough, you do notice this is a magical contract. Are you okay?
I've been rolling like shit.
Well, you don't need to roll because you did take time to read it. Takes you about 10 minutes to baha through this. It is a magical contract. It is magical ink. It is a magical pen. However, you notice that a couple of weird things. Artie will take no money, period. Which is weird for a patron because usually a percentage would go to them. You're free to quit the guild at any point in time for no reason. You just have to come strike your name from the charter. Also really fucking weird because any other guild, usually there's reparations, there's penalties. Some guilds or some groups being of the Blood Hunter lineage, it's not so simple to get out of some groups. They require more than just your time. Mhm.
Sorry. I thought you were done.
Yeah, no, it's essentially that. It's a very black and white contract. There's no hidden script. There's no illusory script.
That's what I was thinking.
There's no dick fuckery. It's a very favorable contract. The one thing you do notice is Calgus, as you sign your name, a splotch of ink appears on your left inner wrist. And there is a passage about bearing the mark of the guild. However, at this time, Cal,
Just an ink blotch.
there's just an ink blotch because
Because
Was
we
there's
that
don't
in the
no-
have a-
contract? Was that in the contract that would happen?
I'll go sign it.
I
Tattoos, bitches.
Vina's still like that seems too good to be true for her, right? Like it's almost like so good that it's suspicious.
Give me an
You
insight
know?
check.
Okay.
Suspicious.
I'm-
She was
I'm
about to
pretty
like
suspicious
freaking
too.
question the fuck out of him and like intimidate
Yeah.
an answer out of him, but I can do insight too.
If you want to give an intimidation, you
Oh,
can do that too.
absolutely. No,
Yeah,
like
I'll
Vina's
give intimidation if you want to give insight.
no, I have
I'm just gonna
I
do
have a
sign it
+7 to intimidation. I have a +7 to intimidation. I'm gonna
Kyle, a giant
intimidate.
Goliath is just signing.
It's
the
all in
contract.
primordial too.
Yep.
That's a 24 to intimidation. So
Okay. V. You're not
she
a very...
and it's more of like the like I always say it's like my mom voice or my teacher voice where it just gets really quiet and like so calm that it's like terrifying. That's kind of what she does. Like she just kind of
Sure.
like basically questioning him like there's something fishy about this and you're gonna tell me what it is.
V, you're not a very big person, but like as you described, your voice
There's
kinda
like
takes
dark like shadows.
takes on that stern air, and you bring your political and your more noble bearing and poise, and you're basically like kind of like looking at Artie and being like, there has to be more to this.
Mhm.
And just as you kind of described, the room kind of gets a little darker and the candles don't flicker quite as much and everything seems just a little more subdued. Artie is gonna shrink back and just kind of be like, well, if you must know, I actually aside from alchemy, I am proficient in magical contracts, and the first contract put together by my father was not very favorable to the people I would be working with. I instead wrote my own contract. So
that was Chelsea, that wasn't Vina.
so he's kind of like stammering a little bit. You look into his eyes, it's very clear he thought he did something kind, but maybe he fucked up or maybe he miswrote something, and there's a bit of that insecurity that maybe he made a mistake. As he
All
is
right.
kind of like looking over the contract like, I thought I fucking had this. Is there a clause you want stricken, or as for the mark, it's quite flexible. Calgus, can I have your arm, please?
Yes.
So right now being as you guys are Promethean level members, essentially you're the first members. You can decide what you want the crest to be. I have really no creative authority in that regards and no real interest in it being my family crest. But the mark will manifest as a tattoo unless you don't wish it to, in which case he moves the blob just by putting his finger on it and drags it to Calgus. Do you have like a shirt or anything on?
I have my like leather coat.
Sure. He kind of drags it onto your chest, and the symbol appears on your leather coat. And you notice that is just on the coat as opposed to your skin. He demonstrates, you can change the color to almost transparent should you wish. It's just I thought there's a lot of benefit from showing mocks in royal families. I thought it might be similar in guilds. I don't really know.
That's actually dope as hell.
During
It's so cool.
during his explanation, once he moves it once, Calgus is just moving it fucking everywhere.
Yeah, and it truly
He's
like
just going to town, just like
and yeah, just kind of like you can grow it, you can shrink it, you can just kind
Dude,
of
that's so
manipulate
cool.
it in any way, and just kind of like in your head. For the overworlders, magic tattoos are definitely a thing, but pretty rare to find somebody who can do them.
Mhm.
This one's a pretty minor magical enchantment. It literally is
Mhm.
just a symbol, but there are those who can imbue tattoos with deeper magic.
Mhm. Well, Vina is gonna look at Artie and just say, like, right, I believe you. And she'll just go over and then sign the contract.
As Vina walks away, you guys all see Artie as she signs, just like
thank God.
Can
Calgus is
we?
still moving his tattoo.
everyone gets the same amorphous blob of black that
Mhm.
can change colors and do all that stuff.
So if I put it
Iris,
on my jacket, it just looks like an oil stain on my jacket.
pretty much.
Nice. Sick.
Iris, you contracted a little differently. If you want to bear the mark of the guild, you can. If not, you are kind of on your own separate contract with Artie. So
I'll sign it. Why not?
he kind of nods and smiles at you. And just kind of under his breath, you hear, "I was really hoping you'd do that."
I'll look over him and I'll give a small smile.
I can't wait until we fully disappoint this man.
Dude, I will kill.
Once
for
again,
this.
man is very loose. By Saurian terms, he is a man, but it's the same way a 17 or an 18-year-old's a man in our society. It's like he's a man. Like,
No.
Also, Mason, I'm assuming the tattoo just kind of appears on me too. My sign.
yeah.
Okay.
It for a moment, it kind of like, it takes a moment and it's like, oh, it's just under your shirt, whatever.
Okay.
I want to walk up to
Yes.
Artie and be like, if I sign this, I will not be in debt to you, correct?
Paragraph 3, subsection 2, you don't owe me anything.
And there will be no buts ever that you say, correct?
But
There's approximately 5 buts in the contract, but they stipulate different.
You ever say butt to me, I'm loading a bolt.
But
I will glare at Bud. Give him a
Consider,
big old glare.
if you will, that the word BUT, not only in common nomenclature, is very common, and I'm not like I understand what you're saying. I'm not ear tagging anything on like, yeah, like I'm not ear tagging anything on. I'm not like conditions or anything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, something you should know is as the patron of the guild, your actions all do directly come back on me. So if you engage in any criminal activity or any well, I don't want to say murder because technically it was a sanctioned killing what happened outside. Also largely those people were highway robbers. Lyran and Darren are also, they were highway robbers. But so technically their executions were sanctioned, but don't murder people. I is what I'm saying. I didn't think I had to say that, but apparently I do. Not just to you. I mean, fuck everything that's happening in the capital. That's just fucking nightmare. Anyway,
Fine. I'll
Does he
sign it.
care to elaborate further on that part about the capital?
What's happening in the
Um,
capital?
do you ask that?
I
Yes,
do,
that's in
yeah.
character.
You just see Artie's eyes go wide, and just like,
Aw.
um,
Do I know what's happening? Because I've been contracted with Artie.
give me a history check.
Do I need to
This
pull out
is
the intimidation again?
Iris would not know, but Iris might be able to like piece some things together.
You know,
No, she
Artie,
won't. That's a 6.
you're our patron now, so we're supposed to know things. You tell us information. So
Brilliant.
I would like information.
Okay, information. I can do that. Well, as you may or may not know, the right of conscription was activated. Um, and the guilds are being reestablished for the first time in several hundred years. The profession of adventure hasn't been a thing. Largely, this is because the standing armies of Manos, um, you guys know Kanor is a feudalistic type continent slash country. So the standing army isn't a standing army. It's the major and the minor houses all pledging troops in support of similar things.
Like the Seven Kingdoms in
Correct.
Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Trouble is when there's political discourse or political tension, it's very hard to have armies mobilize
Yep.
and deal with problems that are outside the Dominion. And as there's a lot of land outside the Dominion of these places, the writ of conscription was activated kind of as a middle ground to get people who are strong, exploit them into joining these adventures guilds, which are essentially they're just trying to clean up some problems that are happening around. But the problems that are happening around are quite significant. For the Overlanders, Cal, you would not fucking know this at all. Kenor is a tropical climate. Like it's not uncommon to see people in like barely any clothing, loincloths. Constant 70 degrees is like the lowest it ever gets here. A couple weeks ago, about a month before the right of conscription was enacted, the temperature dropped to like a brisk 30 degrees. Frosts appeared on jungle fauna, and that cold prevailed for a couple of days. And the last time a great cold set upon the land, calamity followed. In addition to that, and that Artie's kind of narrating through that a little bit. In addition to that, the 4 great dungeons have reopened. These are massive structures that defy logic and reason, that in the past were open, but for the past 500 years have not been able to be found. But some of the Pterodon scouts,
Oh.
some of the scouts of the Praetorian and the Pterodons have found the dungeons again, which is weird. So there's the dungeons, there's these various problems popping up around the kingdoms that need to be solved. There's this cold that's happened, and then there's rumors from some of the people who some of the pirates up north that undead have started to be found in the waters in great number.
Okay.
Wonder why, Mason?
Wonder why, indeed.
Wonder why myself.
Weird.
Huh?
Yeah, why would you do this?
And yeah, he'll just kind of be talking through that. If you want any more information on any of those, he can elaborate. But essentially, he'll just kind of regurgitate that all to you, which is all the beginning information at
Okay.
the beginning of the campaign.
Mhm.
Well, I don't think there's any point dilly-dallying. We need money.
Yes.
Yes, yes, quite right. The food stores in the tavern, I took the liberty of using some of my own money to provide some basic rations, but they won't last long. So we'll need to make some money for food, and water, and also he looks around kind of at the very Spartan, minimally furnished bar, and he'll just be like, improvements would be good. Also, as you guys are talking, you notice Lyran and Dyran go up and they sign the charter as well.
Interesting.
Kind of forgot they were here, honestly.
That's right.
I did kill Lyran.
Has anyone not signed it yet?
I think the party is signed.
Okay.
Well, I think we need to get money quickly.
What time is it right now?
I was just gonna ask that. Like, what time is it?
Little afternoon, about 1 p.m. So
Oh.
height of the day.
Plenty of time.
Like, which ones are close? Within
so
reason.
within reason, the werewolf one is a small settlement outside of Menos, so that'll be several days travel. The
The
pirate
werewolf one got the most votes.
Did it get the most votes?
Well, I want to know distance first. That might change my vote.
Yeah, no, totally. I will go back. Where is that, in general or
It's in rolls,
rolls? Thank you.
like an idiot.
So, oh, okay, cool. So the werewolf one is a couple days out of Menos, which is not that crazy. It's a goblin settlement that needs help.
Happens.
Cal,
And-
you might actually have a faster way to get there. But
Would it be what I'm willing to use, though?
Or is this a Mines of Moria situation?
you could roll me a history check, Cal.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. It's gonna be an 18.
An 18, okay. Yeah, there's two different ways. One is the way you probably wouldn't be willing to do, because you don't know these people. Two, oddly enough, Kyle, that is the perfect descriptor for it. There is a kind of Mines of Moria situation that is also on the table.
Okay. Cool. So I can cut that down a little bit.
Yeah. Would take like a week travel, and you could maybe cut it to like 3 days.
And then, what about the artifact and the haunted house? Those were the other two.
The artifact, it seems like an archaeologist who's interested in it is meeting at a bar, well, a pub, on the northern end of the city, kind of a more upscale place, but somewhere where commoners and humanoids who aren't Saurians can go. And that'd be about a day or two travel. Also, something I did not describe about Menos. Menos is a mega city, so there's multiple different districts. There's once again, think of it kind of very much like Bast from the last campaign, like a New York-sized fantasy city with different levels and stuff like that. So that to get to that bar, probably about a day and a half travel. The pirate one is actually pretty close. It's in Moon Harbor. You got to be there at the evening, but it's put out by Captain Garrick. And there's oddly enough, there's a picture of this really like flamboyantly dressed half-orc man in like a plume cap and like sweeping like trench coat and like high boots, all of which is very odd in Menosian climate where it's tropical most of the time. And most people in their right mind wear like linen and things that are light.
What
And
is more
then
ghosties?
the haunted house is pretty close, actually. It is in Silvergate. But give me a history check. Very low DC, beat a 5.
Me?
Yeah.
15.
Okay. It's a haunted house in Silvergate. You just came from one of those, and they didn't fucking pay you because there were no ghosts, and they got upset about that.
Great.
So also what I'm saying about that is some of these jobs are older postings that different groups have had access to. But for what it's worth, it is fairly fresh. So it's not like all jobs that got posted today, but within the last week, for sure.
Mhm.
Well, I can get us out to the Goblin settlement within a reasonable amount of time. I would like to do something close. I don't know how much I trust the pirate. Yeah, I mean, otherwise the ghost is close too. We can always do the ghost. I mean, that's,
Or the artifact, too.
or the artifact.
Yep, there's the artifact. There's the pirates. There's also the Fey portal, which I know largely was a no.
Don't fuck with Faye.
Don't
Yeah.
fuck with Fey. All right.
It
then-
stands, Michaela. Even gonna stay.
Yeah, my vote is either. Well, are there any that like I would like to avoid, Mason, for reasons?
Sure. I think the artifact one could be a little spicy depending on
Okay.
who the archaeologist is.
Okay.
Archaeology largely is a noble profession because you
Okay.
have to have money to go to schooling, you have
Mhm.
to have time to go to schooling, and you have to have a family who's not necessarily needs money because you're not going to make money as an archaeologist.
Right.
That being said, there's some really interesting like things archaeologists have like knowledge on. They have knowledge on the mega dungeons. They have knowledge on
Mhm.
the forgotten cities of Kenor, because there are very powerful and ancient artifacts that defy reason largely.
Right. Do I know, like, does it say the name of the archaeologist?
It does actually.
Like, would I be able to, like, roll a history check for if I would have an inkling as far as his connections and my level
Sure.
of risk?
So roll me an insight check. The name is Selene Brachionon, so a female.
Insight. That is a 12.
Well, the Brachionons are a noble house, which would make sense how she's able to finance her digs, but you don't know of any political machinations
Okay.
of this woman. Additionally, the Brachionons are known as being very straightforward people. They're not like where the Aussie house is known for cold, cunning brutality. The Brachionons are known for their steadfastness, their loyalty, and their truthfulness.
Okay.
In fact, the house words are "We do not waver."
Got it. Yeah, so I'm fine with, like, I'd say I'd probably be leaning then ghost or artifact.
The artifact, I feel like, suggests the least amount of risks for us, more than likely.
Yeah.
Just not getting attacked, easy
Mhm.
money,
Mm-hmm.
Would be a good way to get fast money.
unless it's in like a crypt with mummies or some shit.
Yeah,
Not a-
that's
We do an artifact.
sounds good to me.
All right, look. Calgus is literally gonna take it and just walk out the door.
Um, you just see already like everybody who's behind Cal's just, I imagine, just very purpose driven, just marching out the door.
He's very confident.
Artie's just like, wait, no, Cal,
Yes.
that's fine. That's fine. Eventually there's gonna be more people, and I have like little flyers that have this. That's the original. Fuck it. Fine. It's fine, Cal.
Paperwork?
Paperwork.
You said flyers. I thought I had to fill out paperwork.
Yeah, no. Artie will just underneath the job board. There's all these slots, and you notice that the job board is very like pretty well like slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, all correlating with the posted job listings. And you see Artie will slide out a slot from the the one correlating with the artifact job, and he'll just hand it to Cal, and it's a condensed copy of the like job instructions and stuff. Seems like that's the original posting, and he's just simplified it and been like, that's what you need.
It's the Spark Notes.
Yes. But as you've taken the original copy, he just takes it and pins the Spark Noted version on there, and he's like, it's fine.
Wonderful. Sweet. Is anyone else following? Because he's like going.
I will follow.
Oh.
Yes.
Yep.
We're ready to go. Yeah.
Unless we want to stop for rations. Like, go grab rations from the back.
Yeah.
But I
no,
have
there is
some on me.
there is a storeroom. You guys can grab some rations from back there if you wish.
Sick. Also, I just want to say, I have no spell slots currently. So, like, just putting that out there. But you said it's over a day travel, right?
Yep.
So unless we get in this fight on the street,
I
have
only
time to
used
rest.
one first level spell slot, so
I used all 3 of mine because Kyle's a selfish bitch and wanted all of them.
I didn't tell you to fucking use them.
He was begging for them.
All right. So it seems like you guys want to take a long rest.
Well, I think we can
well,
start
like start
Yeah, let's
traveling
start.
and then yeah.
Yep.
find a
Find somewhere to
cheap
sleep.
inn and then
Yep. Totally.
Oops.
we throwing shit.
Sophia's being louder.
So we're throwing shit.
Oopsies. So I need to plug it in.
Does anyone actually know the city? Because I don't. And I don't think Calgus is the best person to be leading.
Do I?
Decent idea of this area, Mason. Or am I like too far away? from
Yeah,
where we're
you would.
I don't
This
think
is
I would
not-
have a ton. Maybe a little bit.
So anybody who lives in the overworld, Bud, V, Kyle, what's your guy's name again?
at?
Urton?
Okay,
Khurin. Curran.
Curran.
thank you.
Curry.
Curran. Basically anybody who
Your
lives in
name
the
is Curry now.
overworld, you would have a good idea of it. Iris and Calgus, whew, you're like fucking Iowegians in New York. It's like, holy shit, there's a lot of cool things going on, and oh wait, how do I read that sign again? Like,
Sick. You're muted.
Oh, it picked up something.
The birds got her.
Yep.
there you are. Yep. And that's
I
not,
was gonna
that's not
say-
to say you don't. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I said, that bitch is leading. And point at Calgus.
Yeah, no one stopped me so far. He's just
Can
walking
I notice that you're
confidently.
going? Can I notice that Calgus is
Yes.
going in the wrong direction and
Yes.
just like literally like put a hand on his head and like just turn him in the right direction?
And he just continues to walk in the, whatever direction he's pointed into. He would
100%.
go.
Calgus, you're kind of orienting yourself towards the docks, and V just kind of like turns you around, and off you go.
Can I just like
Calgus-
prestidigitation like a little thing for him to follow? So-
Yeah, 100%.
Perfect.
Just little quest point like
Yeah,
hatches, just like
yeah.
Mason, if
So that he
we
can
have
still
any-
lead.
If we have any escort quests where their walking speed is faster than our walking speed but slower than our running speed, I'm gonna be pissed off.
They have a movement speed of 20, and we have a movement speed of 30. But then their dash is 40, but then our dash is 60.
Also, as this is going on, I'm gonna kind of look at Artie and say, "What have you gotten me into?" As I'm
So,
watching all of this
Wait, is
shit
Artie
go
coming
down.
with us?
Artie is not. He's gonna stay at the
Okay.
guild.
No, I'm
Same.
still like in the area. I think
gotcha.
I haven't moved.
Yeah, 100%. Same with Darren and Lyran. Seems like Artie's gonna go over some more details with them. Artie's just gonna shrug and be like, the jobs are only gonna get harder, and you can't keep doing it alone.
I'll kind of just give him a nod and move towards Chelsea. What's your character's name again?
Corvina, but everyone calls her like Vina or V.
Vina. I'll just kind of shift towards Vina, as that's kind of who I'm gravitating towards.
Yeah.
Seems the most like me so far, so I'll just kind
Okay.
of be near her.
Because I was gonna say, like, I literally rolled like an intimidation of what, 24, and like shadows appeared around me when I was
Oh,
going
yeah.
after Artie, and I'm like, so if you're gonna say trustworthy, I don't know if that was the right term, but
No.
most like you, okay, that I
Yes.
can,
Yes.
that I can get on board with.
All right. All right. So currently, you guys are heading towards the Northern Noble District to a tavern called the Monkey's Paw Inn.
The monkey's what?
Paw.
Paw.
Oh, I don't like that.
Don't open the door.
Anyway, it's gonna be about a day's worth of travel. You can speed it up if you get a carriage and probably get there by this evening, but that'll cost you some gold. Kind of depends on your. If you walk it, about a day's travel.
Mason, did we ever decide like how much money I had?
We did not.
As far as like how much I brought with me when I left, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Did you choose a noble background?
What
Did you
is
choose a noble background?
No, I heard what you said, Nathan. That was just me being like,
what is roll 3d20, Chelsea?
okay. Ooh.
I got fired from my job, so I'm poor.
Because we had like briefly kind of discussed, but not like in detail as far as how much, you know?
Yeah, sure.
That's 15, 11, and 12.
Okay.
They rolled pretty well.
I'm gonna
Alright.
shoot you a DM, Mason.
Sure. Keeping in mind V's pragmatism and kind of what her goals are and what she does,
Mm-hmm.
choose a number under 40 that you think V would realistically be comfortable carrying on her person.
Mm-hmm. How much is a carriage? Like, because I'm
Maybe like-
trying to remember like scale of like how much gold is worth. You know what I mean? If that makes
Yep.
any sense. You said just like a couple gold?
For the entire party, it'd probably be about 5 gold.
Okay.
So carriages are definitely a luxury. These
Mhm.
are for the upper classes. You might be able to negotiate it down a little bit, but for 5 people, half a day's travel, with
Mm.
they'll have food and it'll be comfortable, and essentially you'll gain the benefits of a long rest if
Ooh.
you take the carriage.
Because I would say she wouldn't have a lot on her. Because I think she wants to maintain a little bit of,
Yeah, 100%.
conspicuous.
Mhm.
But she will offer to the group that she could potentially buy a carriage. I had a pretty good job a few days back that I got a pretty nice bonus, so I'd be willing to get us a carriage if you all would be interested in that.
And you just look over, and Calgus is like, his hat's off, and his entire arm has disappeared to the hat of him trying to dig around looking for money.
No, I've got it. I can cover it.
Galgus, you come up with a couple of coppers. They look like you maybe experimented on them. Like there's weird holes in them. You don't have a ton of overworld money. You didn't really think that far ahead.
I didn't. I just kind of walked out the door with my beer and my burnt bread.
Pretty much. So there's a couple carriages rocking around. You need to flag one down, but pretty simple.
Yeah. I'll flag one down. And I would like to try to persuade the carriage driver to like
Sure.
get us a lower price.
Lower the price a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah, I kind of want to get a little kind of the vibes on like what kind of persuasive technique would be.
Sure.
best.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Kind of that's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
Vina, right? To kind of like
Yeah.
get a read.
So the carriage driver is a little halfling man who will kind of pull up a very nice carriage drawn by two protoceratops. So fairly large mini trikes with single horns. And he'll let me get my names here. And he'll kind of pull up and he'll take a bow and he'll be like, "My name's Kale, my lady. What can I do for you?"
I'm just going to like lay on the charm as much as possible. So you're gonna see like Vina for this whole time she's been very like quiet and like just intense, but she all of a sudden shifts like personalities like and is very just smooth talking this guy, right? Like, this is such a wonderful carriage you have. I'm so excited for me and my friends to take a carriage down to Monkey's Paw, right? This right? This one. Okay. We really but we really could use you know, a little more of a deal on it, if that's okay. Could we please have could you shift us a little bit of a deal?
Give me your persuasion roll.
A little bit of a wink. Oh, with advantage? Let's go.
With advantage.
Ooh, well, good thing, because one of them was a nat 1. But the other one was a 15, making it an unnatural 20.
Okay. So dirty 20. Yeah, we'll kind of look at you and be like, "Gersh, my lady,
Gersh.
if you put in a word for your noble friends, which I'm sure you have, I'd be awful glad to take you. I can do it for 3 gold. My kids got to eat, and my wife, God bless her heart, I'm thinking about asking her to remarry me. It's been 50 years, and you know, I think it's about the time. And oh gosh, you don't care, darn, about that. But
oh no,
yeah,
you can tell me all about it on the way. 3 gold sounds wonderful, and I will put in a good word with all of my close friends.
I sure do appreciate that. There's some drinks back there, and you folks feel free to help yourself. Gosh, you all are some of the nice nobles I've picked up in quite some time.
Best Uber ever.
And here's the thing, she's not lying because she doesn't have any close friends. So
Not deception.
The entire party can see this guy is like banking on like he's probably doing this at cost now. He's banking on like the recommendations a little bit.
Yikers.
Yeah, you guys load into the carriage. There's some like crackers and meats and cheeses.
Nice.
And there's some wine on the side. And you guys head off to the Monkey's Paw. Everyone gains the benefit of a long rest. It is about an 8 to 9 hour carriage ride as it sits.
Jesus.
But as you kind of go, the Protoceratops, the carriage is very nice, very traditional, like enclosed carriage, with kind of those meats and cheeses, very spacious. And the Protoceratops between their kind of gate and what seems to be a very well maintained carriage, it doesn't really bounce or like buck in the way that you traditionally think a carriage might. So very, very smooth ride as you go all through the city. As you're
Maybe
going
it's
through
got
the
some
city,
good shocks on it. Joke.
Bitch does have some good shocks on it. As you're going through the city, is anybody actively looking out the windows? There are multiple
Yes.
windows.
I would think I like man the rear of the carriage, kind of just posting up.
Sure. Anybody
staring at the
who's
windows,
actively
amazed.
just kind of chilling and watching the windows, give me a perception check.
Yeet.
I would think I'd be listening to this man talk, so
Mhm.
I'd have to be kind of like, because he's out at the front, right?
Yeah. You can
So-
roll with disadvantage, but he really has
Oh.
not fucking stopped talking
Oh
once.
God.
Uh,
Let's go, Nathan. Me and you, baby.
Imagine.
oh god.
I have the worst fucking rolls.
Your rolls have
I-
been kind of dog today.
I shit you
And
not.
the last session.
I shit you not.
No way.
Oh no. At least I typed my 13 in between you guys.
Yeah.
So you
Alright.
don't
Ruin
have the devil's
six,
number of
six,
that.
666.
Succubus appears.
That's a great omen. 66613.
Ooh, yikers! I didn't even.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So as you're kind of rolling through the city, once again, this guy is very much a jabbermouth, and he seemed really like pumped that you sat up next to him, and has just kind of been talking. And when you sat up next to him, he actually, when you offered him his 3 gold, he only took 2 of them. But he has just kind of been chatting away, and just halfling nonsense. Talking about the breakfast he wants to cook his family tomorrow, and he's just kind of, well, and then I says, oh, Dad, I love that Saurian girl, and I don't care about social standing and nothing like that. And so we were eloped, and we left the Halfling village, and we've been living in Manos ever since. I've been going really well. We got 3 children. They're beautiful little scamps. Adopted, of course, because on accounts of she's a Saurian and I'm a person, but she's a Sabrian, so they're pretty
Wait.
similar.
I can't remember where that lies in like.
She is a cat girl, Chelsea.
Oh God.
Sabrians are essentially cat people.
Ah, okay.
Tails, for most notably,
they
they have
also
large.
I
Noise,
bet their
like,
kids are
canines.
really freaking cute though.
Oh my god, halfling
Yeah,
fucking.
they're like munchkin
halfling
cats, I bet.
tabaxis.
As you're kind of saying that, he's pulling out a wallet, and like he's just got like tri-folds of just like pictures. He's like trying to show you while he's driving.
See, here's the thing. Chelsea is like melting and like it's so sweet and feels bad that he gave 1 gold back. But Vina's like, this is exactly her goal. Does not care. It's very hard to.
For the rest of the party, it's been very hard to tune this out because this guy has just been like just billion words a minute. It just seems really happy that he doesn't actually have people telling him to shut the fuck up for once. Is the vibe you're getting. Where's my Iris? So while you're not very good at navigating the city, you are just kind of by nature very paranoid. So eye shifting, head darting, and once again, something I told the party on a very good perception check last session was there seems to be a really large presence of guards and a lot of like shifting around, a lot of moving, and just a lot of like heavily armored people where heavy armor isn't something traditionally worn on the regular. And not something you would have seen here in Manos before. Something of note you do see, however, is a series of guards of the House Aussie bearing the embossed fang of the Aussie family, their sigil, escorting several priestesses of Hadro in chains, as they're kind of moving down the street, which is weird because the high priestesses are typically revered and respected, and to see them in chains, it's very doesn't track. Like that's weird. Additionally, the guards have kind of like thrown cloaks and hoods over them. So like most people aren't even clocking that these are priestesses, but you happen to see that their shoes are silk slippers. Some of them have their hands exposed, and the tattoos of the order are on there. And there's probably about 30, 40 of these priestesses all chained together like slaves, moving down the streets. Aussie guards flanking.
Hmm. Can I like draw attention to that with the rest of the party?
Yeah,
Is
100%
that
you can.
okay? Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of point out the window and say, hey, what's going on over there? As I'm not really familiar with the area and trying to gain some information, maybe someone that knows more.
Sure. Anybody else roll me a history check as Iris has just told you what she's seen and drawn attention to it.
And
Calgus, you'll make
Artie-
this history check with disadvantage.
Artie is also with us, though, correct?
Artie is
No.
not. He stayed
I
back
swore
at the
that
game.
he.
I apologize if I did not make that clear. He's staying back at the game.
Bro, what the fuck is up with my history checks tonight?
I don't know, but it
Fucking
seems like.
on that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, did you roll a
Real.
19? Oh yeah.
You said history check, right?
Yep. Okay. That's very fair. V, you've never been the religious type. Calgus, you don't live here.
I don't give a shit about these people.
Nathan, Bud also doesn't necessarily strike me as the religious type. Despite having some historical knowledge.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, Kern,
I'm the druid, baby.
yeah, just with your druidic teachings and stuff, you know of some of the spiritual aspects of the city. The high priestesses of Hadro are a prophetic order of essentially they're a lineage, they're a family. You could call them a house unto themselves, but it's an order of prophets who are very prevalent in the royal capital and very sought after. They're very revered, very powerful, influential people. To see them being marched down the street in chains is almost unbelievable, because even a single prophet of Hadro is considered worth their weight, if not several times their weight in gold, because families will use them to figure out prophecies, figure out if things are a good idea, if they're a bad idea. And the higher in the order you go, the more clairvoyant these prophecies become. So, and there's only about 45, 50 prophets in this order, and you count 40 people in this.
Oh,
And they're all chained.
Chained together, being escorted by the Aussies. Additionally, with Iris's check, and with you guys now drawing attention to it, and with the Overworlders noticing it, Nathan, give me a perception check.
so after I relay that
And-
information, I'm
and
gonna
Make it with advantage. And Kern, you can also give me a perception check with advantage.
If I don't get over my high of a 12 today, I'm throwing myself out my window.
Bud might just not be with it. It's all right.
Okay, 16.
Okay, 16.
So perception.
Yep.
Dirty 20.
30, 20. Okay. 16 and 20. At the same time, you guys clock it. One of the bigger Aussies has a blade on his back, but it's a blade with no tip, a massive great sword known as an executioner's blade. Judging by the direction they're going, most likely they're going to the Aussie Citadel. Doesn't seem to be a happy march.
Well,
So,
seems like they're
the
pretty
Aussies are
bad
trying to
oracles.
take over? Question mark.
Seems like they were bad fortune tellers if they couldn't see this coming.
He's got a point.
True. All right. You guys, your carriage starts scuttling on by, and the line gets a little smaller. Is there anything you want to do?
You're a vibe.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah.
All right. You guys pass the line, and move on. Uh, oddly enough, Kale didn't seem to notice it. It seems like. Mhm. Gotcha. That's what's happening there. It's kind of a nice feature. Anyway, you guys bypass it, and you arrive in about 4 or 5 more hours at the Monkey's Paw. The procession far from your mind. As you arrive at the Monkey's Paw, it's a very upscale type of inn, very well lit, beautiful stained glass windows, about the size of like almost entire walls line this place. You can hear laughter, beautiful music of the lutes and mandolins and singing, and just kind of a lively upper scale noble bar. A couple people sitting outside enjoying the music and just talking. Looks like a tavern.
Sweet. And so I'm gonna pull out the form again, the posting, and I'm gonna read through. So does it say when we're supposed to meet him?
Just in the evening. So it seems like this posting has maybe been up for a while. There might be a couple of people on the job, but because Artie hasn't taken it down, nobody's reported it finished. So Nathan, for your haunted house one, they didn't pay you when they kicked you out because they're like, no, it's absolutely haunted. It was just big rats. So people are still actively able to go on that job. If the job is no longer, if it's completed, then the listing's taken down.
So do we have a description of the person we're looking for?
So you know it's going to be a Brachydon, which Calgus, you have no fucking idea what that means.
Mhm.
Everybody else, Brachydons are the family. They're kind of these gray-skinned. They look very similar to Goliaths and Pallor, but they have these incredibly long necks. Additionally, they are absolutely just crisscrossed and covered in these runic tattoos. Think like Rune Knight, these magical rune tattoos. And there's a bunch of rumors about those tattoos, but nobody's quite sure what they do. But pretty much every Brachydon is just absolutely plastered in them.
Question: I know we haven't seen them yet. Those are in Primordial, correct?
They are in Primordial.
Guess who can read Primordial?
All right.
I'm just gonna go in.
Yeah, I'll go in. There.
Absolutely. You guys go in, just kind of as upscale bars are. They're seating for smaller folk, larger folk, kind of in a center area, not hidden by any means, is a Brachydon woman. She stands about 8 feet tall in kind of one of the taller areas. And she's sitting down. Nathan, stop. Stop licking your fucking teeth. That's weird. She's sitting down, head completely shaved, and just kind of as the stories go, just these massive series of tattoos all over her, all in Primordial. We'll get to that in a second, Kyle. But she's talking to a few people. She's got some paper spread around her, and she's kind of got gray and tan linen clothing on, some spectacles perched on her brow, and she'll see all of you and be like, "Oh, breaking off her conversation with the Saurian man. Can I help you?"
Calgus is just holding like the piece of paper, just like in his hand.
"Oh yes, very good, very good." She'll kind of pinch the paper and be like, "Oh," and hand it back to Calgus, and she'll be like, "Who are you with? Are you with the Ankleos, the Brachydons?"
I'm gonna look around and like whisper, "Do we have a name?"
Well, I mean, can't we just say that we're with the
what's the last name?
Aussie?
The Aussies, yeah.
We're with the Aussies.
I see. Haven't quite settled on a name then, have you?
No.
Pish Posh, it's fairly new. We're glad to have adventurers guilds back in the city. Nobody saw. We just identify you as the families. That's the Acleos and the Alacrest was supposed to come talk to us, but I haven't seen head or tail of them. But welcome. So you saw the job posting.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. I apologize. My name is Celine Brockinon. The job is very simple. If you want, I can buy you your drinks and have a seat, and I'll explain it to you.
Everyone's gonna hear drinks and immediately ordered a beer or something.
Of course. Whatever you want from the middle or lower shelves. I am an archaeologist, so I apologize. My pockets aren't that deep.
I don't think. What do we have like bars and pubs in the Undercity?
Yeah, you definitely do. Alcohol, like dwarves love alcohol. Like
I'm just trying
the
to
idea.
decide if Calgus
It's a
would go to
universal-
them or not.
Brandon, alcohol is a universal language.
Nah,
Of
true,
course
based.
you'd have bars in the Undercity.
I think Calgus is used to drinking with the dwarves, so he will get a massive pitcher of any ale,
Fuck yeah, dude.
just because it's like literally like half his height, because that's what he's used to.
Calgus, you haven't made it up to the Upper City that often, but Rive has brought you up here once or twice. And you just know to ask for a dwarven portion.
Yes.
And they hook you up with essentially the giant pitcher that's about the size of your head and your chest.
Perfect. And like I have to hug it to bring it back.
Oh,
I bear hug it to walk it to the table.
100%.
it.
It looks like
I
you're
love
almost
it.
like carrying a barrel.
That's so funny.
Perfect. But it's like it's so I can't even like pour it into myself, so like I have to like just like try to like dump my head into it a little bit. Looks my long snout.
What, they don't have a
Just-
straw? Can they give you a
Have you
straw?
ever, I was supposed to have you ever drank beer through a straw?
Calgus, you set your large beer mug down by Celine, and you know she's drinking from a similarly sized mug that seems very proportional to her hands.
So that's yeah.
So others are drinking, correct?
Mhm.
Mason, am I able to have one of my little potions?
Of course.
Iris takes one of her little red vials, and she will just down it.
Once again, just looks like a standard healing potion.
Looks like a standard healing potion. Interesting.
Something.
All right.
Huh.
Okay.
Oh no, I was just making villager noises. That's all that was happening.
Okay. Villager
More
noises
than
confuse
likely,
me.
we're probably sitting at a bigger table, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
Like
probably just.
Do you need a
standing on my
booster
chair.
seat? Do you need a booster seat?
So, like I said, there are like this bar caters to like multi-species, and like there are some saurians who are just fucking gigantic. The Brachionons being the biggest. But Goliath, centaurs, halflings are sitting around. There's a couple of not kobolds, excuse me. There's a couple of the shorter races, goblin actually, which is really weird. All sitting down and talking. Calgus can very easily grab like a small chair, stack it on the bench that the Celine is sitting on, and like kind of like get his way up to the table.
Perfect.
I love that.
That's so
Fucking great.
cute. Are you sure they don't have like one of those like high chairs that just slide onto the edge of the table? You know, like the ones that have you seen those? Like for toddlers?
Yeah, it's a little late in the day for like a kiddies booster seat, but you could ask a waitress if you really wanted to.
I'm vibing on my chair.
Okay.
Didn't we do this
Oh.
exact same thing for Cribble? We got
Oh,
him a
yeah.
booster seat.
All the time.
We did.
Yes.
We did get Cribble a booster seat. That is true.
Celine will kind of clap her hands together and be like, if we are all situated, the job is pretty simple. She'll hold out. Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
Forgot to send that to you, Mason, for the thing.
Thank you.
That's one thing that I love about playing D&D is like, for the thing.
That thing
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Do I feel safe going here for reasons? Like,
Oh.
Yeah,
oh
you're
god,
probably
I know, but I just like that's the kind of talk like back and forth. I
yeah.
just love it.
It's a
so
remembrall.
funny.
So Celine pulls out
Oh, that's so cool.
something that looks in her hands. It's quite small, but in Calgus or even Bud's or like Kern's hands, Kern's very big. In a normal size hands, it would be very large. So it looks like the thing on the left. And there's a small drawing of the thing on the right, the scroll. On a scroll, and Celine will say it is an orb of remembrance. They store memories. We're not sure how they do it, but it's very old technology. And it stores memories from the precursors, the people who were here before us storing it. And they're very rare, and they sometimes store nothing, and sometimes we have gleaned immense magical secrets from it. The flying ships that are very new um, are from an orb of remembrance. Um, although, yes, I'm, are you aware of the flying ships?
That was a Brandon thing. That was a Brandon
Oh.
thing. That was a. I am very aware of the flying ships.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The flying ships are something new as of a couple months ago, actually. Um, you can see them in the sky docks that typically the pterodons use, but
Have we seen our
large
particular ginger on one of these flying ships?
Maybe one
I
with some black wings, perhaps.
I don't believe anybody has seen it.
Okay. I'm so scared.
But Celine will be like, I apologize, I'm rambling. But yeah, the technology is amazing. But there's so much more we can learn. As with the flying ships, the fuel consumption is extraordinary. Having to imbue mithril and adamantine and burn it to function is staggering. And I can only imagine a society where adamantine is so prevalent it can be burned easily. Um, Truly incredible. Um, but I'm rambling. I'm rambling. Um, I have information about a dungeon. Um, Not one of the great dungeons, but a dungeon outside of the city that might have an orb of remembrance. Um, there's this diary, and she'll kind of put a small leather-bound journal on the table and tap it, and she'll just be like, um, indicates that this might be the case. Um, but I do not know what the dungeon holds. As a couple weeks ago, when we went to investigate it, it was infested with, well,
What?
Huh?
Haven.
I heard
Gabe.
gay. It's infested with gay.
Gay. Yes, it's gay. It's homosexuality. No, it's she whispers Skaven. Anybody
Alright,
who's in the
Warhammer
overworld, what'd you say?
Warhammer 40k, let's go.
So yeah, actually, to the players, the Skaven are a race of rat people that partake in black magic and stuff like that. But
Hang on.
the reason Celine is whispering it is the Skaven have been perpetuated to have been eradicated hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
And any mention that they might not be is considered treason. So this
So-
daughter of a very noble family has said something that is very taboo, faux pas. Like,
So-
she wouldn't be executed for it, but like there could be major repercussions.
So Mason, does she know about kobolds?
Um,
'Cause I know you said
Ye-
some
Mhm.
do.
So oddly enough, she has Calgus, she has been talking almost directly to you this entire time.
Okay.
Most Saurians don't acknowledge kobolds because they consider them inferior to the
Mhm.
Saurian bloodline. Um, the fact she's treating you with any respect might just mean she's a good person. But
Or I know that
well,
she knows that I know.
yeah, it's
Okay.
probably indicative of somebody who is familiar with kobold customs.
Okay.
And if not
And
kobold
so
customs, certainly the city of Shadow.
she knows that I'm very upset currently then.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Hence why it was directed at me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm hook, line,
Um,
and sinker on this. I'm good. I'm ready.
yeah. Um, she will kind of she'll look at all of you and be like, are you aware of the implications of this? The god will not assist us. The typical mercenaries, the things I mentioned, are very well versed in the dark magics and very strong despite their weak and haggard appearances. Um, very dangerous. So if you don't think, I don't mean to insult you, but you are a pretty small group. If you don't think you can handle it, I totally understand. Um,
And for the first time since you guys have met Calgus, you've always seen him as just like that weird, dorky, like little dude who's just running around doing whatever the fuck he wants because everything's just whimsical to him. You've never seen him like deadpan serious up until this point, and he'll just look at her and be like, "This is, it will be dealt with."
um, she'll kind of nod and she'll be like, all right, uh, this is the perpetuated location of the dungeon, and she'll point to it. Um, Calgus, give me a history check. Everyone else, it looks to be about a day's travel.
Ooh, 18.
Which direction?
North. So Calgus with an 18, there is a series of mining tunnels that were sealed up several years um, before that most of the inhabitants of the city of Shadow do not fuck with. It's not near enough the city to like make a massive panic, but it's way too close.
Right.
Like way too close.
Okay. 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 Yep. Sounds good.
Payment will be conferred on by your guildmaster. Do you have any questions for me?
How much is the payment?
Well, depending on your guild charter, I don't know what your equal takeaways are, but the payment in total is 100 gold pieces.
Per person or total?
No,
A
total.
total.
And I'm assuming, besides the artifact you're looking for, we can keep anything we find.
Of course. But I will pay bonuses if you find anything particularly interesting.
Cool.
No payment for head count.
Oh, I'm not the kind of person who pays to have those heads counted. However, Master Calgus, was it?
Yes.
Something tells me you know somebody who might.
I'm assuming I do.
Yeah, you
Okay.
you know there is a bounty on Skaven heads in Shadow.
Okay.
Quite lucrative, actually, too.
Sick.
And I'm assuming I know how to prove that I killed a certain number by specific taking of something.
Tails, heads. There's multiple ways to do it.
You also have a fucking bag of holding, so it doesn't really matter for you.
Right. I don't want rotting shit in my bag of holding.
It's an
There
actual bag.
is a practical aspect to this. as she's kind of talking, she'll look at Iris and she'll be like, "Very interesting. What brings you to Manos, Miss?"
I'll just kind of look at her and sigh and say, I was just brought into this. Don't ask me. She's just very to herself. Kind of
Course,
just looks to the others to give answers. She wants nothing to do with anyone right now.
I apologize. I do. But my curiosity does lead me to ask: do you hail from the Unseelie Court or the Feywild?
I'll kind of look at her up and down and
Maybe
say
that
that I'm
maybe
well,
that was rude. I apologize. Is that okay to ask? Or
no, it's fine. And I'll look at her and say that I am Mason, we discussed this, correct?
yes.
Yes. Let me just double check something with
No,
you.
no problem. This is not a trick question. You can pretty much tell her whatever you please.
I just want to run by something by you quick.
100%. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll kind of look at her and just mention I am from the court.
I see. An honor to meet you, lady. Um, and she'll kind of leave it at that. Did not look like she was expecting an answer. Uh, is there anything else you want to do? She will offer to pay for your room for the night. It is the evening. Um, there's dancing, there's revelry, there's a couple other characters in the bar, talking and bullshitting. What would
The
people like to do?
tattoos.
Oh, the tattoos.
Tattoos.
She will see you kind of looking, and she'll roll back her sleeves, and you just see like, yes, it's primordial, but it's primordial runes, and it's all like different symbols imbued with magic. And she'll just very scholarly be like, each Brachiodon at birth is given certain gifts. I don't know exactly how it is decided or why, but certain things are bestowed upon us. Some get great strength, some intellect, and truly, these runes are just proof of our heritage and also of our deep gift. There's a legend about it, but it's quite silly. But yeah, um, you kind of notice there's runic markings about intelligence on her, great life, prosperity, youth, very generic things, but it seems like every single word is imbued with like magic at differing levels.
Interesting. I just want to know they were. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, no, and she'll let you know like each Brachiodon, the runes and gifts are different and bestowed at birth. So
Hey guys, keep going. I'm gonna be right back.
okay. As the night kind of wears on, anybody who wants to can give me a perception check.
Have to ask me twice.
All right. Pretty much all those rolls are very good. All right. So as the night kind of wears on, Celine will talk with you guys all however long you please. She's a real big nerd. She talks about the great dungeons and how they're uncovering is tremendous. She tells you about some of the artifacts you might expect to find. She warns you of traps. And kind of as she's like giving you this like lowdown on what's going on, um, you see that some people start rolling into the tavern, and these are all nobles, very like well-to-do, put-together people, and a kind of like somber air fills the tavern as people are kind of muttering to themselves and talking, and you overhear just kind of whispers to the effect of uh, the prophets have been put to the knife. and people are just confused and worried and just kind of chatting, gossiping among themselves.
Yikers.
It doesn't seem like it's something that's being hidden. It seems like something a lot of the bar is currently talking about.
Interesting. I kind of would like to see if I could kind of tune into one of the conversations to see if I can get some sort of reason as to why. Like, was there any event that led up to this? Was there a certain prophecy that they had that, like, people were
Sure.
offended and, like, you know, blame the messenger type thing? Like,
Roll me an investigation check.
did they just decide that they didn't want to be slaves to the group anymore? 15.
With a 15, you kind of lean in on one of these conversations. It's being held between it's being held between a dwarven man, kind of like a, flowing white dreadlocks, soot in his hair, pinned back, but he's got a very nice robe. It's a deep crimson with gold leaflets on it, and he's talking to an absolutely gorgeous human woman with her hair pulled back into a short bun. There's a small scar over her right eye, and it's kind of
Fuck
like
yeah.
this fierce look in her violet eyes. She has a cutlass on her one side and a dagger at her other, and you can kind of hear them talking in like short whispers. And as you get a little closer, this human woman, give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, fuck! No. Shit. Dexterity saving throw? I'm not Kanika anymore.
I know.
Fuck. That's a 13.
13.
Shit. Fuck.
All right.
I don't like this.
One second.
I was too distracted by her good looks.
Absolutely. As you're kind of like inching towards this conversation, suddenly her hand shoots out, grabs your wrist, and just pulls you onto her lap. And she just sits there and she goes, "You're too long. You don't have to eavesdrop. I'm more than happy to let you in on the conversation." The dwarf kind of just, like,
I
sputters for a sec.
eavesdrop too.
The dwarf kind of sputters and he'll be like, "Valeria, that's rude. You can't just be grabbing people. I am so sorry, miss. She does this all the time. Fucking captains and all that." And he kind of like stands up and like is like trying to like diffuse the situation because he doesn't know what's happening. And Valeria's just sitting there kind of with you on her lap, just making eye contact, and she winks.
Venus just chill. She's fine. As long as she feels like that she's good, then she's
100%.
fine.
Blair is not threatening with you.
Okay.
It was more so a playful like,
Got it.
you've been caught eavesdropping. Like,
Yep.
what the fuck are you doing?
Venus just gonna ask questions then.
Yeah. Valeria's tone will kind of shift and she'll be like, well, I think you were standing over there long enough. I saw you too. But there is a nasty rumor. And Orin, he introduces himself as Orin Stonefoot, will kind of sputter and he'll be like, "A fucking rumor. There were witnesses. They saw them marching down the streets, and then fucking 30 dead bodies of the priestesses at House Aussie. It's undeniable." And Larry will kind of like hold her hand up. Rumors, yes, there are people who say they saw it, but there always are in these things. But
wait, that like the priestesses killed 30 people? Rumored? No, that there are 30 of them dead.
Priestesses were the dead ones.
Okay,
The
that's right. I
Aussies
just wasn't sure which.
the Aussies executed 30 priestesses of Hadro, including the High Priestess.
Thanks. Brandon, you missed it. I got pulled into a hot pirate lady's lap, so by her. So
I'm jealous. It should have been me.
Yeah,
But,
does she have room for one more?
but Valeria
I'm a
will
small
continue.
man.
She'll just be like, "You're so inflammatory," or. But the high temples were cleared out. Nobody knows where the prophets are, and no official news has come from anyone really. So we don't know what's happening.
So
But
no one knows why the Aussies would even want them executed. Like, what could they have done? Like, what are the possibilities? What could they have done to warrant, getting rid of such a resource?
House rivalry.
Maybe, but the priestesses were something that the imperial family held close to the chest. And the fact that the House Aussie has them, or had them, and the Imperium did nothing or did not know about it, is concerning. Valeria basically explained that the priestesses are lent out on a loan type policy, hence why they're worth more than their weight in gold. It's like, you don't buy a high priestess of Hadro, you rent one. And they're fucking expensive, and you don't rent them very long. And depending on their status, higher amounts of money, with the high priestess being reserved for the empress herself and only her. So pretty big deal. Like, essentially one of the major religious organizations, over 66% of them have been executed, is the rumor. Hence why Valeria is caution, and Orin is just fucking losing his mind. Orin, as this conversation goes on, he is a merchant, so very up to date on current events. He owns a series of shops, and he's just worried about the political and implications of that. But as the conversation goes on, Orin will also mention, he'll be like, in addition, the 5 of the great families purchase weapons in great numbers from my stores, like numbers that are not replacing or updating gear. It's they're arming an army, and I can only imagine what for. It truly dire and concerning news. Thank God it's the fucking Saurians killing each other. Am I right? You kind of see a booted foot just kick Orin under the table really hard, and just kind of motion to the multiple Saurians in the bar like, that's a fucking dumb comment. But Valencia will look at all of you and be like, so what is your deal? My dear, of course, and compatriots, what are you here for?
Is that the pirate lady?
It is the pirate lady.
Okay.
And her name is Valeria?
Valencia.
Valencia, and what race is she?
She's a human.
She is a human. Human with violet eyes.
I mean, perfectly matches my aesthetic, so.
I'm just trying to marry off NPCs. You call
Yep, there you go.
D&D is just a romance simulator, or whatever they're called.
Yeah, duh.
It's an excuse for me to flirt with Mason.
Mason, yes.
Goddamn. But she does seem interested because your party is all sorts of fucking weird.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
We're just, just a group looking for some work. Probably found ourselves a job. Just kind of stumbled into that whole ordeal on the way here, and we were just a bit curious.
Of course, of course. God damn it.
Oh, what? I missed it.
Well, if you need work, my dear, I always have a job available. And for the rest of you, there's always space in my crew as well.
Is that on us?
Guys, I want to do the pirate job now. Nope. Fuck the artifact.
Pirate mommy.
Fuck the artifact. I'd rather fuck a pirate. So
I need to kill pirates.
I do kind of want to live out Warhammer 40k.
Yeah, there's plenty of opportunities to see what we may be able to fuck with the rest of the artifact.
Chelsea,
Just
you're
patient.
married. Leave some for the rest of us, okay?
Let me flirt with pirate mommy
Corvina's not married.
with my negative
Kelsey
2
is married.
charisma.
Dude,
Um,
I freaking with what's my charisma? Yeah, I have a +5 to charisma. Like
Algus has the Riz.
So
Fucking
have
hell.
we been kind of rung into the conversation that those two were
Yeah.
having?
Yep, yep.
We're being now.
You have been welcomed in. It seems like Valencia doesn't really have any negative feelings about talking to random strangers. Orin, he seems a little more closed off, but at this point, like, you guys have heard enough of the conversation and been in it long enough that they're just speaking freely.
And Orin is just another pirate buddy.
No, so
Merchant.
Orin is a
He's a merchant.
He has very fine, like, crimson clothes. He's a dwarf with white hair pulled back into he's got white hair dreads and it's pulled back, little sooty, but like it looks like, judging by his clothes, the soot was strategically placed to make it look like he works. He probably does not work.
I
He's a
mean,
merchant.
he could just be a supplier to her fleet,
Mhm.
you know.
Okay.
Um,
How about Bud goes? Well, Valencia, my name is Bud. Do you have any incentive for us to do your job rather than our own?
Well, interesting. Typically, well, I suppose, Bud, are you aware what happens on a pirate ship in Menos?
Never been on the sea.
That's cute. We would not be sailing on the sea, Bud. I am the captain of a ship known as the Storm Rider. It is an airship. Menosian pirates are a thing of recent happenstance. I'm sure you've heard of the flying ships, yes?
Yes.
Originally, they were crafted in the intention to help the nobility cruise around and be fucking nobles. I don't know there's a better way to say it. Unfortunately, in order for a ship to be used, a tremendous amount of natural resources and magical material are needed. So much so that the nobility has mostly sworn off the idea. Enter pirates, or what the nobility is calling pirates. Essentially, we are captains of these ships that are finding very profitable work to both fuel the ship and make us a lot of coin. If have you seen any of the other flyers for Captain Garak, some of the other pirates that I'm sure you've seen the flyers. Anyway, don't fucking sign up for those. You will get yourselves killed. They tell you you're going to just be on a quick errand. There might be gold, and really they send you to fucking get a wyvern's egg and your bait. Like I said, highly profitable jobs, very dangerous. But
I'm much more comfortable in the dungeon than in the sky.
understandable. Truly it is. But we do all sorts of odd jobs. And as you know, I just wouldn't want this one getting hurt. So I have a very vested interest in your safety, all of you.
I'm gonna look to the rest of the group.
But to answer your question, the job I'm currently on is we are collecting pterodon eggs nasty little secret about pterodons. They're in a symbiotic relationship with wyverns, and they mix their eggs together. And it makes it very fucking dangerous to grab the pterodons. That's why there's so few pterodon riders, really. But that is also the job that Captain Garrick is on. So it's true that some of the nests have gold and magic items, but they also have hungry wyverns. So
What's an
I'm not going
estimate
to
for
lie
the
to you, it's
total amount of
very
gold?
dangerous work. What?
What's an estimate for the total amount we get?
I pay 250 gold a head per egg. Your group retrieves. So 5 of you, if you get 1 egg, 250 gold, 50 gold apiece. 2 eggs goes up from there. If you give me a wyvern egg, I pay 750 gold per wyvern. Wyverns are very sought after all. I am going to tell you, if you go after a wyvern nest, I am not responsible for you. And frankly speaking, I just don't want you to die. I know it's very sentimental for a pirate captain, but Christ, it's a nasty
I think it's
business.
sentimental for someone you just met.
Can I get an insight
Yeah,
onto like on that?
Yeah, if you couldn't tell by my tone of me saying that, I want an insight too.
yeah, go for it.
I'm on a roll with these insight checks. That's a 22.
I got 15.
22 and a 15. With the 22 and 15, Valencia's just flirting up a fucking storm.
Hell yeah.
Just
Hell yeah.
hitting on it, and like truly, like her eyes have just kind of been lingering on like certain party members and stuff. So she's like cautiously flirting, not cautiously, she's flirting very brazenly with pretty much everybody who will talk to her. But there does seem to be some truthfulness. She doesn't want people to die.
Okay.
There's some truthfulness to saying that Garrick and some of these other captains are using people who are disposable to bait wyverns and bait pterodons so they can get the eggs and profit vastly. Yeah, it just seems like she's pretty upfront. Very brash person, but not a liar.
How rushed are you to head out on that mission? Or is it just kind of an ongoing?
It's ongoing.
Thing.
Eventually the Imperium will cancel it, but they're always after pterodon riders. And frankly speaking, when something more profitable comes, we'll probably take that. But come find me at the Skydocks if you're interested. The Storm Rider, if you ask for Captain Valencia, you'll find me. Or will kind of chuckle and be like, if you ask for Valencia of the Double Blade, people will know her. And she'll kind of like smack him across the table and just be like, really? Bud and Kern, give me history checks, please.
Because we can always do the artifact one and then do the pirate one.
I feel like starting with the artifact job would be better for our level. Metagaming, sorry.
Algus has not been paying attention to this conversation whatsoever and is planning the trip to the artifact. Just by the way.
Kyle, you can make your roll with advantage. 12. Okay.
Nathan tries to roll above a 16 challenge.
Impossible.
That's all right.
1 in 400 chance, by the way.
Double that
same
once?
number?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kern, she's real cute. You're not sure what she's saying, but she's cute. Nathan, Valencia of the Double Blades is a very famous pit fighter, who is undefeated and climbed her way out of the pits and is very famous among not only like pit fighters, but like just normal people of Menos. Like she is a household name.
She don't go be in my house, if you know what I'm saying.
Who's in her lap right now?
I refer back to the Yu-Gi-Oh meme in chat.
Anyway, the night goes on. Valencia and Oren will gladly accept you guys as drinking partners. and they'll discuss, really whatever you want to discuss. If you have more questions for them, does anyone have anything specific?
Not right now.
All right.
I was gonna say I've got questions, but they might not be appropriate to ask in front of others.
I see. We'll fade to black on Valencia and be just flirting uproariously this entire time.
How size is she?
What?
Oh,
Nothing.
I don't have admin privileges here. Do I have it? Oh, I did it.
Did what? I missed it.
Oh, I just muted him on my screen.
she's pirate mommy. Not pirate mommy. Pirate mom.
Like Lady Dimitrescu level, or
No. That nothing. She has to fight. She's a pit fighter, but no, she's very well endowed, Nathan.
Oh my god.
Apparently, because that's what we care about. Valencia will spend the rest of the night telling you guys stories. Oddly enough, despite her boisterous personality, it's usually Orin who chimes in to tell like the best parts or the most flattering parts about Valencia. Oftentimes, she seems kind of uncomfortable about those bits, but she regales you about tales of the Storm Rider, her wonderful first mates, her crew. Seems like she has a lot of love for them. Yes. I mean, yeah, kind of actually. The night
Mother.
fades. Lady Celine Brachus pays for your guys' rooms as part of your compensation for accepting the job. Drinks are on the house, and you have a very wonderful night. The morning comes, groggily to some. Give me Constitution saving throws, everybody who's drinking.
Oh,
I was gonna say, does she really need to pay for a room for me?
Not really, no. Once again, we're fading to black on that one, but no.
And is this a
He does-
saving
He does
throw?
not need her own room.
Is this a con check or a saving throw?
Saving throw.
Mason, did we decide on anything that I would have to do?
So there are no other negative effects aside from the effects that are there.
Okay.
But you're
I
having a
wasn't
great.
sure if-
You're having a. You're vibing. Like,
Oh wait, this is the next morning? Or okay, then I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
Yeah.
yeah.
What are we rolling?
this is
Con
this is a
saving.
this is a hangover check, Mika. So
Oh, I wasn't
Figured
drinking.
I wasn't sure. I figured I just wasn't sure if there was anything.
give me a Constitution saving throw as well for you. But
Oh, bitch.
We
You're
love
the-
con saves.
Ooh, that's a 5.
5.
What do you add? What do you add to that?
Oh no, that's with the
Oh,
add.
oh
Okay.
no!
That is the +2 added. I rolled a 3.
Okay, anybody who rolled a 10 or under, you wake up pretty sluggishly, groggily. It was a rough night. But it was a good night. Oddly enough, though, the entire party awakes at about 7 a.m. as bells are ringing uproariously. Almost, it seems like every bell in the city is just ringing a harsh, brutal melody, just a cacophony. In a room with a beautiful master bed, Valencia, now fully clothed, is standing at a bay window as V wakes up.
What?
And
Oh,
Don't skip
Uh,
by that.
No, let's not.
Remember, we faded to black.
fade to black. Now fully clothed, standing by a bay window is gripping her cutlass and her dagger. Her knuckles are white as bone.
Oh.
Everybody roll me a perception check.
oh, I was expecting initiative.
I know. I was like, fuck.
Same.
I would like to say that I would have casted alarm at my door, just an FYI. before I
Yeah,
went
no,
to bed.
that's actually.
I've been
appropriate.
rolling dog shit for insight. Amazing. Perception, horrible. Ooh,
I forget,
not as.
Mason. Do we do natural ones are automatic ability failures?
I'd say largely yes. If it's something you're truly skilled in, it's not like a catastrophic failure. It might just be you don't quite get what you're looking for. Did you get a natural one? Okay. Still give
What?
me the
Nathan
total, but
rolling bad?
it is a nat one. So temper your expectations.
So far, Nathan, Mason, I feel like Nathan's our Murph so far this campaign.
He really does feel like our Mirth a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Nathan.
Mhm.
Has great ideas, really does try, rolls like shit.
As I said, Valencia stands in the bay window, overlooking the city. And kind of Vina, as you get up, she kind of looks at you. A small look of like a smile flashes across an otherwise mirthless face, and her eyes kind of trail back out to what looks to be a flag fluttering in the breeze a small distance away in the main courtyard. And in a voice very uncharacteristically like her voice last night was brash and brazen and like kind of bold,
Yeah.
and in a very quiet voice, you hear, "Ask me what the problem is, my little bird."
What's the problem?
Queen is dead. And as she says that, you notice the flag on the main post outside is no longer the flag of the Empress of the Imperium, but rather a bloody red head with a slash through the neck and eyes of a bleeding saurian. And very bitterly, Valencia goes, "The queen is dead. Long live the king. Should be a very interesting next couple of days." And that is where we're going to end session.
Was the queen like?
So, for everybody interested, the queen was the empress of this entire civilization.
Was
What
she like
we-
beloved? Was she like not
Very
really
well-
liked?
very well liked.
Oh.
But essentially, the implications are regicide of the Imperium. And what it takes to commit a regicide, queen killing in this case, is a very messy business.
And you have to kill everyone, right, Mason?
What do you mean you have to say what?
The lords, the ladies, the sons, the daughters, the slaves, anybody like on the paperwork, everybody.
I would like to run back to the guild and scratch my name off that list.
We're not on the.
Oh.
We're on the Ashers.
Aren't we?
No, we're on Ashers. We're fine.
Also, you don't know who the winning side is yet.
This also like we're also not part of the Imperial family.
Correct. You're absolutely
A
not.
guild.
Okay.
The political implications of this is the entire political structure has just been thrown into upheaval, and nothing that is known historically about the families matters anymore.
There's a power vacuum now, and it's
a massive one. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not good for my people either.
There's no heir.
Because we had a very good relationship with the Empress, and she was very respecting of us.
Nathan, to answer your question, there is an heir to the Empress. However, the flag that is being flown in the courtyard is a flag that nobody recognizes.
Wait, can you describe the flag again for me, please?
Sure. So it's a humanoid head
Okay.
with its neck ripped out with a triple claw mark. Black satin with crimson, like blood red symbols. Throat ripped, a bloody red right eye, dripping blood.
Okay.
But otherwise, like it's not. You can't tell if it's like a human face or a saurian face. Like it's a very minimalistic family sigil. If everybody wants to give me a history check,
I also would like to make a history check as Charles, please, to see if I can remember what Restivir's flag looks like.
So anyone
Sure.
can make a history check.
Anybody can make a history check.
I'm okay at that.
Bean, holy shit!
Did you do it?
I got an 18.
Nice.
Boy.
There you go, Nathan.
Wait.
Breaking news.
Oh my god! Look
18.
at us go!
17,
17,
18,
yeah.
18.
Kyle.
We've also mostly been like rolling the same-ish numbers.
That's
like,
like nuts.
Oh,
no.
that's awkward. Oh, that's awkward.
Okay.
That's
There's the
awkward.
barbarian coming in. Yep, there it
All
is.
right.
Hey,
There's the barbarian part.
hey,
Corinne just being like, new flag.
hey, I got the, hey, I did better than most of you on the first couple history ones. All right, you guys got to
Yeah.
carry the team a little bit.
Player to DM, I would, and this could be later, but I would absolutely be trying to see what I forgot her name already.
Valencia.
Yeah, Valencia knows too.
Yeah,
But
sure,
that can be later.
100%. And yeah, we can role play that out. Breakfast can happen. But essentially, for everybody who rolled, except for Corinne, who was just like, Corinne's not stupid. He understands there's bad political things happening right now, but you just don't recognize the flag. Anybody who rolled those 18s, beautiful, beautiful 18, 20s.
What about
such
the
like that.
17?
The 17 gifted.
Okay.
PC was gifted. But essentially, you don't recognize the flag, which means it's not a flag of any of the great families. It's not play on any of the flag of the great families. And it's flying in a main courtyard. And as you look into the rest of the city, every courtyard is flying the same black satin flag. So that's significant. For my players before, I will remind you, Restivir's flag is the same color scheme, black satin, crimson red cloth, but this is not the same. Not the same emblem.
Does it mean they're not in cahoots?
It does not.
Wait a moment. Am I missing something? Are we in the same universe as the previous?
We are. Everything is. This is simultaneous to our last campaign.
Yep.
So am I the only one here that's like
Yes.
over my? Okay,
Completely out
got
of
it.
the loop.
Yeah.
Understood.
And that's tough, Mika. I apologize.
That's how
No,
I
it's
was.
fine.
That's how I was last campaign because there was stuff from their campaign before that in last.
So this is
campaign.
like 3 deep. This is 3 campaigns. Imagine just all 3 seasons of Critical Role and all that's all like mixed in time and all that stuff. It's the same
Mhm.
thing. We met my
Great.
we met my old character in the last campaign
even though we were in a parallel like
universe. We
Universe.
still met Kelvin. I miss him.
which I can't remember.
Got it.
And we
we're
wondered-
not
we
in the
wondered
same
where
bubble.
Restivir was for a period of time.
We're not in the same bubble universe as
Oh, Restivir
the Final Flame, right?
Was that? Yeah, we're in a bubble campaign, bubble dimension from where our other first campaign was.
Okay.
Will
that
things
was
that need
Aetherus was the bubble dimension.
Right. We're not in the bubble dimension. We're in the normal dimension.
Correct.
Right.
Oh, my bad.
will things that need to be explained to me be explained to me if there's any reason for that?
Yeah, yes.
Hopefully
At this juncture, there's no other reason than
Nope.
I'm a bitch who likes crossovers. But
So
Well, and just know
Got
this
it.
dude was
Bad news bears.
really bad. He turned my character into a vampire, was really fucking terrifying, and like,
You did mention that.
yeah.
the
Yeah.
only other thing is the zombies. Mason can't do math very well. So from the first campaign, Mason's like, "Hey, 4 corpse flowers can't do that much damage," and then he zombified an entire continent.
It was a
What?
exponential multiplication is scary.
So I'll mer spark notes it for you. Our entire party
It was
got
my
captured.
fault, too. Except
Our
for me.
entire, yeah, everyone but Kyle got captured, and we got thrown into like an arena to fight for the enjoyment of everyone around us. Kyle then broke us out by blowing up underneath the arena to set us free. But because of that, it released 4 corpse flowers. Corpse flowers kill people and produce a zombie once every 6 seconds. Those zombies create other zombies. So it's an exponential growth. 4 of them got escaped into the city with no one to kill them. And so exponential growth, half the continent turned into a zombic wasteland.
Wow. Incredible.
We could have tried to stop it. We just left instead.
No. By the time we
Checked
were any
out.
time to stop it, there was like already tens of thousands of zombies. But
Yeah, but
Yeah,
time we
there's
would,
nothing you can do. You just dip.
and
you
the only
go.
spellcaster we had was a warlock. So like you throw out 2 AoE spells and everything was done at that point. So until
Mhm.
he has a biscuit and a wank, and then he can do it again. But that's a whole different- That's a series of
Um,
videos you don't know. But
Those are great videos and should be mandatory watching for D&D. But the Mika, they're just funny. They're just funny.
got it.
okay.
Do you have any questions? I apologize. There were some throwbacks to some old campaigns, but I very much like your character, Mika. I like Iris a lot.
Mason, I do have a question.
Mhm.
Do you have an extra pair of pants for me? Because I just shit mine.
I do, Brandon.
Thank you. Good to
Get
know.
your thick ass in my pants. I mean, what? Who said that?
Oh, what? No. Also,
I
follow-up question: where is my pirate mommy?
I'm with the pirate mommy.
No,
she's
you want your
literally-
own. I want mine own.
all right. So here's the thing. It's plausible you can all find pirate mommies. I just don't know if they'll all be as cool as once yet.
Or
'cause-
daddies.
or daddies. Yeah,
slave enemies.
this is equal opportunity. Or
Lock
or-
Mason
or-
campaign.
pirate others.
mommies
I-
and daddies.
the funny thing is, you'd think I'm not ready to run it. I'd fucking
I
do
know
it
you
too. It's just a pirate dating sim now.
Oh, good. I have -2 to charisma. Let's go. I'm ready.
Mason, is there
Yeah.
any like specific point or a good time to like kind of reveal the healing potions to the party?
Whenever you want to, or whenever, or
Got it.
however you want to.
Understood.
We KG about our backstories around here. You don't have to share shit.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Yep.
Yeah. Kyle, I'm sure you have an idea.
Maybe, possibly. I don't remember. Bro,
Because I
got
mean, you
dumb
helped
bitch
me.
disease. I got dumb bitch disease. I don't remember shit.
This is true. I have severe no, that's just my fight. Well, same thing. Never mind.
No, not the same thing. One's a disease, and the other is what Brandon has,
Ooh.
and me. That I'm right there too. But does anyone have any other questions for me? Perfect. Thank you guys so much for coming tonight. I love every single one of you, and I can't wait to play more in D&D.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
Oh,
Thank you
yeah.
guys. Thank you guys for like inviting me to do this. It's been about 2 years. No, 3 years since I've been involved in anything like this. So
You're not wrong.
I will be very rusty, but
I, do,
Oh, she did perfect.
I have a very gameplay question.
Yeah.
We're doing milestone, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank God.
Also, something I forgot to bring up in session 0 that I should bring up right now. I am going to introduce an optional rule, and it is 100% optional. You may roll death saves secretly.
I
Yeah.
fucking love it.
Yes.
You do not have to,
It's happening.
but should you want to,
It's
you may roll death saves secretly and just whisper it to me.
Yes, it's happening.
oh damn.
Mika,
It's so like the party doesn't know
Doesn't
like
know.
how.
Yeah.
I like
I've
this
never
idea.
had that before.
yeah, once again, it's a totally optional rule. If you're not comfortable with it, or you don't want to do it, or even if you're just like, well, tactically, I don't want to do that today, I don't fucking care. But if you like the drama, I encourage you to use it because I think it's very interesting.
I love me some good drama.
I'm a dramatic ass bitch.
We know.
I think when Ed died, I don't remember me telling you guys what my death saves were until after I died.
Well, you got mine.
Correct.
I did get much, but I still had a roll for it.
We had a soft implementation of that like a session or two before,
Yeah.
but it's a rule I like, but I'm not
Mhm.
willing to make it a hard. You must.
Yeah.
Imagine getting one shot by a creature. I don't know whoever that happened to.
Rock.
No, not even that one. I'm talking about Charles.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
And I
was
lost my
thinking of-
entirety of my leg.
I was thinking of like the level 3 campaign where you just got fucking annihilated by a rock.
No, we were level 1, Mason.
Oh, that's right.
And I was a wizard, and you're like, oh, this troll is going to, let's see, I'm going to roll a d4 to see who he attacks. Oh, he attacks the wizard. Well, it's out of range, so I had to roll a disadvantage. Oh, does a 4, what was it, a 28 to hit or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, how much HP do you have, Brandon? I'm like, 7. It's like, oh, you take 16 points of damage and are completely dead. End of it.
Instant death.
Turn
If anybody
to
has ever seen that,
combat.
if everybody has ever seen like Attack on Titan when the Titans like start throwing rocks and it just like
Mhm.
fucking annihilates the
shit.
building,
That's what
that
happened
is
to my character.
exactly what.
Oh my god.
He was
Yeah.
dead.
It's okay,
I
Kanika
do-
freaking got one shot by a vampire, so.
That's true. That's it.
I do have one gameplay question. I
Yeah,
kind
of
of talked about this with Kai a little bit, but I want to kind of run it by you. So being, well, it's gonna get revealed soon, but being a rogue, sneak attacks. Does, because I know it's like when they can't see you. So if I
So-
was,
The
Hmm.
way
Or no, how does the-
not quite actually.
Okay.
Is, so if you have a surprise round, you're obviously gonna get that damage because it's a surprise round. The way that it works though is as long as one of your allies is within 5 feet of the thing that you're attacking, you get the extra damage.
Or if you
get
roll
one
with
of
it,
your-
or if you attack
you
with
roll with-
advantage
Yes.
for any other reason.
cool.
And mechanically, a couple of things that give you advantage on rolls. If you take the hide action and you hide and they don't perceive you, you get advantage because you're attacking them from an unseen location. A surprise round is essentially ambushing or like attacking somebody when they're not ready. So
Mhm.
like very roguey things. You sneak up, you fucking shoot somebody at the beginning of the fight. That's a surprise round. Additionally, there are different actions like your co-players can take. They can give you the help action, and just give you advantage. So there's a lot of different ways to get advantage. And frankly, Kyle, just attack anything that's next to Kyle, and you're probably gonna get sneak attack.
I was just going to say
Mhm.
my goal is to have Kyle be my meat shield, as I am a 3-foot creature that can fly. So I will just
Literally,
cover
the first
behind you.
fight, I transformed into a large creature, and everyone's like, "Let's headline
Were
that
you a
fucking
hyena?
thing." Yeah.
Was it a high? Yeah, yeah. I listened to like everything but the last 10 minutes. But no, I just wanted to kind of clarify because I've only played Paladin before, like fully.
Best class.
Big stick go
It's a
bird.
great class. Yes.
Do you have
but I just
magic
wanted
sight?
to- What?
Do you have magic sight? Do Fae have magic sight? I don't know much about Fae.
I don't think
I
that
could-
ever came up.
No, they don't have true sight.
They don't. Oh, true sight. That's what it is. I was just curious. I could see that being a thing, so I was
Is
just
there
wondering.
ray race? That is true.
Because I can cast darkness. That's the only reason why I was thinking. I'm like, ooh, I could cast darkness on you, and then you just always have advantage on your freaking attacks. That's only if you can actually
That would
see.
be OP.
But that's only if you can see, because it's magical darkness. So you can't just have regular dark vision.
I do have a
Mason has
build for
build
that.
that's focused
Oh my
around
God.
being a fucking cavalier.
So
Has
if we,
darkness centered on themselves.
I mean, if we get you a magical item that allows you to have true sight or to be able to see through magical darkness, then that could be a future thing to do.
Wait, Mason. So I know I'm a fairy. I know that not all DMs. I have flight, correct? It's the same speed as walking, I'm pretty sure. With flight,
Yeah,
we never
it
went
should.
over that, but okay.
It should be. If you have a 30-foot walking speed, you're gonna have a 30-foot flying speed.
Yeah,
Um,
I can.
it's your movement just the same. You don't get to walk and fly, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking hide in trees if they're around. Holy
The
shit!
trees are speaking Vietnamese.
Correct.
I'm just
guys,
gonna hide in trees. Sorry.
I'm gonna sign off because I have to get ready for inspection tomorrow. But first, I'm gonna hop on a call with Nathan. Does anyone else have any other gameplay questions for me or anything else? All right, guys.
Balls.
Thank you so much for coming to session 2. Can't wait for session 3. I apologize.
Peace.
All right. Night.
Bye.